right, so I'm with Trent at Apex Cages at the Super Show.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Trent from Apex. These are our modular reptile enclosures. We have an expandable system that is all about growing with your reptile. So no more replacing, it's all about expanding. They grow and they expand and they can go in any direction, up, down, left, right, deeper, taller, Tetris pieces.
So you could basically like set it up so that if you weren't ready for a big enclosure, maybe you got like a baby retic or something and it's like kind of growing up.
Correct.
You don't want to have to like keep reinvest because you always have to resell these. Like
Correct.
It outgrows the small enclosure and you're like, now I got to get a 6 foot or an 8 foot.
Correct.
And now what I like about these is that you can go through it, which is beautiful. You don't throw away your old cage, you just expand on it.
Correct. When I started this, it was all about making it flat to ship and accessible across the country, and also lead times, bringing those lead times down,
right?
And weight and material and all of those things that we were struggling with 3 years ago. And now the system has kind of shown up in the sense that it is developed to the point where it will function all the way down to any level.
If you wanted to put storage, I saw storage bins under here.
Yeah,
earlier.
so this is our storage bases.
Yeah,
you know, we don't have furniture that is deep enough for most enclosures.
Right.
It's all 18 inches. It's standard furniture. So I've made these bases at 24 inch deep.
Yeah, because you don't want to have your reptiles on. Like so many people get stuck with having the reptiles on the floor.
Yeah.
And you know, like heat rises.
Exactly.
You got temperature fluctuation.
Exactly. So that's all about the risers. So that's what it really is to elevate the animals
Yeah,
up.
and I like that instead of just doing something like this. So you have obviously the solid bases. These aren't out yet, right? These are kind of
they're just
on special order.
Yeah, you got to ask for it right
Yeah.
now. But they are everything's coming online very shortly.
But like instead of doing this, like most people could build it themselves, like make some kind of like
correct
shelf. But you actually made like a storage system.
Yeah.
So and you put like your substrate, you put like your food.
Exactly. It's all cricket, all your feeders, everything is kind of going under there.
An iguana or something.
Yeah, and you can have it with a slider in the front, so your accessibility in the front, or it's just a blank,
just want it.
And then it's open in the back.
And you got like, I noticed you got custom emblems.
Yeah, that's going to be the line of color trim that you can actually do, as well as just the emblems to match your room, your aesthetic, what you're going for.
Right.
Wanted to incorporate the, we're pretty limited with the material used to keep it at the 1/2 inch level. What we're using 1/2 inch American-made PVC. And so in order to do that, the color variation of that thickness is not really there. So we're going to be doing these really nice trim panels.
Oh yeah, the trim panels too. I saw those.
Yeah, so that's going to be kind of
is that what this is?
Yeah, that's what this is, like a little first off proto to show the slider with it.
Currently it's 2 feet deep.
Yeah, so this is a 4 foot by 2 foot slider.
Okay.
Connected to another 4 foot, and then we are releasing this today at the show is the 18 by 18. So this is going to be the new part of the system.
So if someone doesn't want the 2 feet.
Correct.
They can go like a standard 18.
Correct.
Like for smaller reptiles.
Correct. And the other cool thing is that you can take this 4 foot front face off a 2 foot and take it and put it on an 18 inch deep. So it's the same part. So this will go on another.
So it's the same front. So you can
exactly. So you could readjust your height and keep the depth, or you could. So it's any way you want, up, down, left, right.
Different sides, basically.
Correct. You'd have to match the other pieces.
Yeah, the top would be.
But the good thing is about the depth is if you have 2 foot and you only have another 1.5 feet, you can add the 18 inch. It basically makes every combination possible.
And then if you have like a snake that likes to climb around, you can do something like.
Yes.
Some crazy stuff.
Yeah, so this is like kind of like an observation, you can get in there and, and it all connects to like another Tetris piece. This is just kind of showing how it can be developed.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
you can even do like really cool like trees. Like what other cage can you do that? You have to build it yourself, basically.
Yeah, that's the whole point is so you can build the blocks and then kind of
you can keep going, right?
Yeah, correct. And it's secure. It's all bolted together. This is like, I can stand on it pretty good.
How much weight does this hold? Like
right now, we've rate tested at 95 pounds, included like a bunch of stones.
Okay.
It was like there was no real sag. But
so
to do this, that was on this piece, so it's free floating. But on a base, you can put an insane amount.
And then you obviously have like the pull down.
Correct. We have these really cool trigger latches. This is like kind of the signature feature of what I want to develop. It's like the really annoying like way of doing other ways. It's just like so simple with like a click. It's just like all in. And then you can do like single loads, it's just like super easy to do it.
And then you do have the sliding glass, I noticed.
Correct. So we have 4 different types of doors. This is a single drop down, a slider. Then we have swing out doors.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, so this is the swing out.
Yeah.
And then we have a double drop down, which we fortunately have been blessed to get rid of all today already, which would be 2 of these doors essentially.
Yeah. And you're based out of
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep.
And what's the obviously whenever I'm shopping, because I actually ordered these. By the way, I did actually order these and not sponsored, nothing
No.
like that. They didn't even ask me. I actually just found them.
Yeah.
Because I need this. I need this for my indigos. I need like a 6-foot enclosure. Ultimately, even longer at some point, you know, they could really use the space. Right now, they're only a couple feet. So I'm not going to stick them into 6 feet because right out the gate, because they're going to be lost. You know,
Right.
They're going to feel
Exactly.
stressed out having too much space.
That's the whole point, is grow. We also have a divider that goes in this this is a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah.
This is a swing out, and then we have a drop down with 2 windows. So this was our first, what we ever
Oh, that's
did.
your first one.
Not the swing out, the drop downs were. But we have a divider that goes in the middle here. So you
Okay.
could actually have 2-foot enclosures and then remove the divider, and then you're gonna go to the 4. So it's all
Yeah.
about starting small, growing, and then you can go
100%.
higher and across.
Yeah, so if you even have like even a baby.
Correct.
Like a juvenile.
Because you don't want to be doing like an entire space. We're getting away from, you know, the traditional under tank heating. We're going to radiant heat panels. We have evolved this industry,
Yeah.
and it's like time to go and do the things right for the animals, like to have enrichment. And
So like turnaround time, so that's a big selling point for me. Like, I don't know about you, I don't want my snake to outgrow its enclosure by the time I finally receive the enclosure.
when I started, it was like me looking for enclosures was like 36
Right.
weeks, and I can't fathom like the time
Right.
in which that takes when people have to pre-plan animals, and that's kind of why this whole standardization. That's why we've been developing it for 2 years with no promo, so I could get it dialed in, and we could make sure that it's all ready to go. So now it's ready for everybody to kind of get a piece of it, and in order to, you know, get these animals like really in these cool spaces that are like regulated temperatures. Like, you know, we're getting
Right.
away from that waste of energy in glass, the waste of energy in screens.
What's the current lead time right now?
Right now we're 2 to 4 weeks. It's actually 2 weeks for like our standard 4x2 and 3x2. It's anything when it's like more like you want a couple windows or you want this, it's kind
Right.
of like a different packing. And as we go, we'll go into more things. It's not really Apex Cages, that was a keyword, right? We're Apex Forever Homes. Like that's
Right.
what we're trying to do, is create
Right.
homes for reptiles and animals that can like have good enriched lives over 30 years of what they live.
Yep.
It's just all about that kind of like growth and development.
So I actually ordered a bunch of these. I'm going to be picking them up today at the show, and I'm going to do a separate video as I'm setting them up. We'll do a review of them. We'll talk about how I'm setting them up for my crew. And how do people find you?
ApexCages.com, Instagram, we're on there as @ApexCages, and you know, pretty much on Facebook as well as Apex Cages.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trent.
Pleasure. Thanks so much. Thanks.